Saturday night's main event is over. No major surprises, but still a hell of a night. Spaz isn't here, but Liz is, so even better. Let's kick off that new intro and get right into it.
Jake and Liz holding the fort. Spaz ain't here, no support. Main event stage set so wild. Cody's clash with Owen's style. In the ring where warriors meet. Saturday night can't be beat. Sweat and fury in their eyes. Tidal waves of fans' wild cries. Into somewhere voices scream. Truth and chaos we redeem. Review battles every fight. Hardcore lovers through the night.
That's right, ladies and gents. We're live once again. Saturday night's main event is over. What a night. Not really many big, notable, newsworthy moments, but it was still fun, still enjoyable, still felt like a success overall. We're going to go ahead and we've got Liz over here tuning in, so don't mind it while we go ahead and adjust things. But Liz, how we doing over there? How you
Oh, we're doing good. We're doing good. We're doing good.
Good to have you tuning in as well. You know, we're just getting past your recent birthday, so again, happy birthday to you. It was a great stream, you know, and I'm glad we got to go ahead and show off this great gift I got from you. Again, thank you so much, keeping me in style.
You gotta wear the Cody gear.
Exactly, got to rep something. You're full of it, so you know I had to join it. Exactly, night. You know,
and now this is not planned, by the way.
No, right? It just happened that way, but it was an interesting night. I was surprised that we really didn't get any major return or debut or noteworthy title change. I really thought they were going to bang out some type of a surprise, but unfortunately, that's not what we got here.
Nah, I was expecting something to happen. I was just sitting there waiting. I was like, something going to happen. Nope.
Yeah, exactly. I was hoping that they would go ahead and, you know, have the ability to, I don't know, at least show something, a bit of a surprise for us. It was very formulaic. Everything was exactly as predicted. Spaz made a little bit of a crazy prediction, going ahead and thinking that, hey, you know, he wanted to try and say that, you know, we might see Kevin Owens win, which would have been crazy, you know, and that would have been something. But I don't know. I kind of wish they pulled the trigger with Finn Balor tonight. I mean, imagine he comes off the top rope while Gunther chokes out Damian Priest, and then Balor just stomps them both and gets the pinfall on Priest.
Mm-hmm.
I think that could have been excellent, a lot of fun. I don't know about you, but you know, you certainly started off saying before, just no oomph, nothing that made it feel must see. Unfortunately, it was a great night.
I was waiting for something to happen.
I was hoping they could differentiate themselves enough so it would be more a battle of the belts feel to it, but unfortunately that was not the case, or less of a battle of the belts, excuse me, you know, more of a PLE feel.
Yeah,
really,
right. I see what you're saying.
Unfortunately, it came down to it just kind of being, again, formulaic, which isn't a bad thing. It was still enjoyable, but it's getting to a little bit of the all right, maybe they're saving it for the build to Mania. It seems like they're holding everything.
They're waiting for Netflix. That's all they're doing. They're sitting there waiting for the Netflix show because that's all. This is all they're building up to is Netflix show. So
the more they announce on that, CM Punk's doing something historic supposedly. They're going to go ahead and have John Cena there. Let's not forget he's kicking off his last year of wrestling tour.
Cena's going to be. Everybody's going to be there.
So he's retiring. It's like Roman Reigns. You know, he's taking on Solo. I mean, that's a Mania match that could have happened essentially. So they're doing that on the Netflix debut, which is crazy.
Yep. You're going to have Seth and Punk. You're going to have Seth versus Punk.
It seems Roman like that'll be what happens at Mania, but we could see Seth and Punk at the kickoff. I think that's what they're going with. I think that's how they announced it, and I'm all for it. I like the shorter cards.
Apparently Drew's not done with it. He's going after everybody in the bloodline again. So.
He did say on social media and tonight afterwards, he went ahead and said 1 down, 4 to go. So he's looking to take down everybody that was part of the War Games match.
And that includes Punk.
Absolutely.
I thought we were done with this.
I thought we were, but maybe there's a few ways they can do this that it kind of works out interesting. They can always do a tag team match for him to take on, with somebody else, and that kind of changes it up. You see Punk and Roman having to take on like Solo, and so it could be kind of an interesting way to do it. That
you could have Punk. You could have Seth and Drew.
That would work too. That really would, and
well, I mean, considering the fact that Seth and Punk are fixing to start their thing going, so you could.
And they would take on Roman and Punk, and then having Roman and Punk team together again. There's hostility there. Would they actually do it? There's a lot you can build off of. I mean, we could do better with it, but it's.
And
just
I don't think Kevin Owens and Cody aren't done. So.
Yeah, I guess they had the Motor City Machine Guns taking on A-Town Down Under as a dark match before the event tonight. So
interesting. People
said it was good, but I guess people had a hard time getting in the building. People were still filing in 5 minutes past the main.
I saw that on Twitter. All the people were outside freezing to death, and they're like, they won't let us in the arena.
It is like it's been crazy. The weather around here right now. It says it's 22, but feels like 4 degrees because of the wind chill. So that's not fun to be stuck out. Even if a couple hours ago it was very frigid. But I thought they made the right choice, kicking off strong. Drew McIntyre comes out with a Warriors crowd entrance, and he just commands everyone's respect and attention. Sami Zayn
he got booed out of the building.
I know, but he gets that reaction every single time.
That's his reaction all the time, though. It's like that's the way Drew is.
So
I mean,
good.
And all the crowd was trying to hit him, and he kept knocking them off,
Yeah, he just brushes past everyone, so that made me smile. I loved seeing the turnbuckles, the sides, everything being retro. The ring was the original white and blue with the ropes and the canvas. Everything, the side aprons had the.
It was all nostalgia. I was like,
it was WWE because I know they can't say F, but it was in the block lettering style that they used to have. So everything had the old school font. The referees wore the old school uniforms. The bow ties with the blue shirts, the button ups.
Yeah.
What else? I mean, the entrance ramp was really cool the way it was set up. It had that. It had the classic yet modern feel kind of combo, and I mean, for what they did in the arena, it was a sellout crowd.
I tell you one thing, it's like it brought back nostalgia because I remember staying up. Well, I remember going to bed and then sneaking downstairs to watch Saturday Night Main Event on TV with my cousin one year, and I was like, "Whoo, boy, the nostalgia."
I know, it hit me strong too.
And my granddad getting up when we were down there trying to watch, and he was like getting all over us, telling us to go to bed.
And that was the classic. Hey, I remember I got in trouble because I wanted to be like the Undertaker and sacrifice my sister to the ministry. And we tried. I tried, but I couldn't get a cross big enough. No, at least not one.
Well, my grandparents lived. My grandparents' house was a very old house, and it was kind of hard to sneak downstairs because you had to sneak right past the bedroom where they slept, and it was like so many stairs, and the stairs were you had to be very careful of how you stepped to get down the steps.
Yeah, I remember those. We used to remember where every creek was when you were a kid, so you could sneak back.
Exactly.
And not get in trouble. Those were the fun old days. I mean, I've told stories forever ago.
It's like my cousin told me. He says, "I'll go down first, and then you come down like 10 minutes later, and go to act like you're going to the bathroom, and then you got
to stagger outwards and make it
stagger into the living room, and whatever. Because there's only one bathroom. There was only one bathroom in that house, so it was like
you only had so many options. Yeah, exactly. And
so we had to literally go at different intervals to get down the stairs, and I was just like,
you can't say everyone's going to the bathroom at once when you only have one. That leads to a bit
exactly.
Of
so he went down, and I waited like 10 minutes or so later and went down, and I was like, okay, we got down there, we had to turn the TV down really, really low, so we had to sit right close to the television to actually hear it.
Well, that wasn't too back, those days you kind of had to sit on top of the TV to hear it anyways. So don't
True,
mind Milo; he's going to
exactly.
be upset regardless. But
Oh, hot
he's
doggo.
exactly. But yeah, great opening match. I mean, this was an
Yeah.
expected outcome. I predicted this. I'm 5 for 5 tonight. It is as I called it.
Oh
And
yeah, I had a feeling Drew was going to win. I
you
was
said
like,
it as
well,
well. You predicted that. You called even the 4-way on AEW. So
well, I mean, what can I say?
one thing I will say, this crowd's super responsive tonight. Tons of fun. They
Hmm.
really brought it when they needed to, cheering for the Blue Thunder Bomb. They got a really loud "This is awesome" chant after that.
Yeah.
McIntyre always looks so great when he sells certain moves. He really looks like he's
Hmm.
just getting his ass kicked. He
Yep.
looks like just a drunk Scotsman getting his ass beat.
Yep.
And
And then he suckered Sammy in by doing the get out of the ring and then get back in
yep.
the ring. And I was like, Sammy, don't go. I said, Sammy, don't go out there.
What a
Don't
great
go out
finish,
there.
though. As soon as he comes back in, he hits him with the Claymore, pins him, one,
Yep.
2, 3. And they also said Zayn has never beaten Drew, ever.
No,
Ever. So,
when Drew, I noticed that when Drew came out, it actually said that he's never lost to Sammy. So
yeah. And see, I like the story that they're telling with Drew. He's still a great heel. He may not have beef all with Punk, but something's coming of it. But with the rest of the bloodline, he's got the Usos to go through, Jimmy and Jay and Roman. So there's a lot of meat left on that bone, and there's so many people
yeah,
that don't need a title to be involved for the story being told. So
that's right.
they can keep away at that point in time and kind of
I mean,
keep,
he
keep that
attacked
to
Jimmy
others.
last night. He attacked Jimmy last night. So
That's what I'm saying. So, and even then, that was kind of just a warning shot because he still said only one down, 4 to go. So
Yep.
we'll see.
And
what
Jimmy's got a
happens,
broken toe. And Jimmy's got a broken toe. So
and I know he's limping around. I wish they just called it a broken foot because you hear broken toe and it makes him sound like such a wuss. But if
yeah, I
you
know.
break your big toe, you cannot balance your foot if you break it in the right spot. Like, because all of the pressure when you balance goes onto your big toe. So you lose your center of gravity. So you're
Yeah.
laughing thinking like, oh, you broke your toe. But if he really, I think he said he snapped his full big toe backwards.
Ooh,
That's painful. That's no joke.
that just
So
sounds painful just to think about right now.
I've
Just
broken
thinking about that
toes
just gives me
before, and yeah, it's not fun. So,
I
but
have not broken any bones.
you're lucky in that
As
regard, thankfully.
so
I'm-
knock on something.
knock,
Knock on something.
knock on something. And as always, guys, we're going to go ahead and make sure you subscribe, hit the like button down below, but check out the description box. You can go ahead and find links to twitch.tv/DJAnime2016. She's
Yep,
over there.
that's
She
right.
goes live all the time on Twitch, plays a bunch of different games. It's
Oh,
always
a lot of
party,
games.
tons of games. And you're always playing something new, yet retro, yet old at the same time. You really go ahead and have
I try to play.
wide variety.
I try to play all the good stuff.
That's what
I'm not
saying.
into the.
So you go through.
I'm not into
a
the.
breadth of
I mean, I'm not
games.
into the. I don't play the Call of Duties and the.
You leave that to us over here. I gotta
I,
start
I
streaming
can't. I
some of
can't.
that.
I can't shoot for shit. Okay.
But you can check her out in the description box down below. And then also, Spaz and I had our predictions to this show and breaking down some other things that we talked about, like locker room leaders, all in the state of wrestling this week. So you can check out Spaz Phoenix Podcast on YouTube or follow the links in the description box down below. Now that we got that set aside, the second match that they had here, they went ahead and had Liv Morgan defending her title against Io Sky. A little underwhelming for this. They said they had 14,186 in attendance, according to WrestleVotes. So that's what I'm seeing on Twitter here. That's a lot of people for them.
That's a lot of people.
They had over 60 plus sold out shows this year. I know they eventually didn't have it in a row. That's where they stopped saying that. But regardless, they've had a sellout show, at least one every 3 days, essentially, for this year.
Oh yeah, I know all
3.5
about
days.
those. I know all about those sold out shows.
And now they're not even giving tickets to the family members, the superstars. It's crazy. They're telling people to have to go on and buy them themselves. But regardless, pretty much everyone was assuming it was going to be a bit of the numbers game and people on the outside, but it kind of didn't come into play as much as I thought it would. It was fairly a straightforward match. Unfortunately, this one felt weighed down by the commercial breaks, and it was already kind of a short match to begin with, or at least it felt that way, and it felt pretty much kind of like a not a burial or a squash, but at least underwhelming for Io. She was kind of rushed into being the number one contender.
Well, Twitter's lit lighting up. Apparently, Kevin Owens decided to do something stupid after the show was over.
We'll have to check that in a second, but.
Yeah, apparently he decided he did a package pile driver on Cody and left with a title belt, and then him and Triple H are getting in a shoving match. Shoving match.
Nice.
Oh boy,
Excellent.
Well, I guess that's not over.
I wish I could show the footage. They're so copyright litigious with those
you don't want to. Yeah. Well,
even...
see, the thing is, all these people, all these wrestling guys that do their TikTok reactions, they all got their channels like banned.
Yeah,
so it's
exactly.
like now. So
we can hear it now, though. Cody celebrating in the corner. Kevin Owens looks on, and then he goes ahead, and as you said, he hits Cody with the pile driver and hits him, takes the belt. I mean, Cody coming out with the wing eagle. We'll get to that in a little bit. That actually that made me like choked up a little bit because that's something he loved so much. He's wanted for so long. Yep. We'll discuss it more later. Back to Io Sky.
Yeah, we'll go through that later. We're also going to talk about how they had a signed Cody Rhodes Eagle belt on the WWE shop, but apparently it's gone already. So I was like, well, so much for that.
That probably went in seconds, I guarantee.
Apparently so, because I was like, oh, cool. I wonder how much it costs. Well, I don't know because it's not there no more.
Now it's just sold out. And you know what's funny? If it is going to a reseller, it'll be 4 times as much. But AEW was charging $800 just for single autographs the other day.
I'm sorry. Well, AEW is another story in itself. But I mean, I'm just saying AEW is outrageously expensive on any of their stuff, apparently. So
yeah, no doubt. So. Io Sky, she didn't really get a chance to show much off here, unfortunately.
No.
She really just felt like she was lacking in the ability because of lack of time. It wasn't her talent or anything. It was just that they weren't going to have enough time to really tell a story.
They didn't. Yeah,
it was a 9-minute match, but there was essentially 2 commercial breaks to split it apart.
Exactly. That's what killed. I mean, that's another thing. That's another thing about this show is I don't know how you watched it. I watched mine through actual NBC, not on Peacock. So
I watched mine on Peacock and had to watch every commercial break as well. So
okay, well, I had to watch all kinds of commercials, and I'm sitting there going, can we get back to the match,
I thought
please?
It was just Peacock because I didn't have their premium subscription anymore. So I'm like, I wonder if they're just having that. So I went and checked live TV, and I turned on NBC, and I'm like, oh no, they're airing commercials, the same ones.
Oh yeah, I got all kinds of lovely commercials, and I'm just thinking to myself, I don't care about. Even when I watch on Peacock, I don't have the premium Peacock either. I have to watch commercials on there anyways on Peacock. So I thought I'll just watch it on local TV.
Yeah. So Liv Morgan got hit by a brutal knee. It looked like her nose was a bit bloody at the end there.
Yeah, I noticed her nose was bloody, and I was kind of like...
They replayed that knee. That was brutal. I hope her nose isn't broken, but she hit Io after that knee with Oblivion. She got the pinfall. They retreat. They're heading to the back, her and Raquel and Dom, and then Rhea comes out, scares everybody, and they go face to face, and she holds up the belt, and that's probably what we'll get at Netflix. That's
a Netflix match. As they were backing up, I was like, okay, where's Rhea? I know she's coming.
Exactly. Nope. It was smart to get Rhea on camera too, because this is NBC. This is a bit of a broader audience. This is prime time. Television slot that's leading into SNL, so that's a big thing. So
Rhea came out there, and I was like, okay, what's going to happen here?
See, Rhea was the shadow, the elephant in the room, but the shadow that kind of weighed over all of this, because you knew Io never stood a chance at all. At least with some of the other matches, you're like, well, what if Owens did win? What if Gunther did lose because Finn got pinned? There are possibilities.
Here's what I think is going to happen with Io. Io's going to win the Rumble.
Really? So that's your prediction for that. That's interesting.
I think she's going to win the Rumble. I don't know. I like Io.
That, I think, would be a interesting pick for sure. I'm curious to see who would win at this point. I don't want to see Rhea win. I don't want to see Charlotte win.
Oh, please, let's don't have Charlotte win the Rumble. Please don't ruin the Rumble with Charlotte Flair winning the goddamn thing.
I'll have to think, and think that
I
one
don't.
over. We'll get to the
The
year
whole
ends
thing. The whole
time, but
thing. Charlotte's going to show up eventually because I keep teasing it all over Twitter. It's like, I'm like, when is she coming? So.
it's happening at some point, that's for sure. So I really
Is she going to
thought we
show
were
up
going to
on
see
Raw, or
her
is she going
tonight.
to show on Raw, or is she going to go on SmackDown?
I think she's going to be on Raw because that was originally a request for her to be there. I
Makes
was
sense.
surprised she was not there tonight, honestly. I thought she would have
I'm
been
too.
there for the women's U.S. title.
Apparently, Punk was backstage tonight, so
Punk's been at every show for weeks now. It's incredible. Like he's been at almost every NXT show, watching on. He's been
Yep.
behind the scenes, helping all of the NXT talent. He helps them with promos, helps them with wrestling, helps them with
Mm-hmm.
psychology. And it was so funny because everyone was like, "Oh, good luck with Punk. They better sign him into a contract that guarantees he can't get into any
Right.
fights.
Yeah.
They better have a clause in there. If one fight, you're fired." And all everybody says so far is he's been a joy, a pleasure, a major help. What it does is it just shows the unprofessionalism from AEW again. It's like, guys,
Yeah.
you released the footage that justified Punk's actions and showed him exactly as he called it, word for word.
Yep.
You just gave him the evidence he needed. You played right into
Yep.
his hand. So it just baffles
Yeah, I
me.
mean, if you'd have told me that Punk will be in WWE right now, I'd been like, ain't no way.
No way, and that he'd be a locker room leader and a star role model
Right.
and what people aspire to be like, and all these
Yep.
heartwarming stories of him doing so much for certain people when they're in need, and then other people he's helped out, like I said, not just with matches and stuff, but like life stuff too. He's donated to people. He's done just above and beyond. So it's heartwarming and shocking because for
Yeah,
a
but
while we had such that different purview of him. We saw a bitter, angry, tired man that was pissed the fuck off because he didn't want to deal with children and bullshit anymore. And
right.
sadly, that's what we kind of got from him for almost 2 years. And it all goes back to the leadership can't make everybody happy when no one's happy. So
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I mean,
crazy indeed.
yeah, what a AEW just totally. They don't know what the hell they're doing over there right
Well,
now.
that's the thing. I wanted to check out Collision tonight, and it was just like, oh, they're doing more of the Continental Qualifier, Cup matches.
Yeah, they had. It was. Who was it? Was it? Yeah, it was Osprey versus Darby tonight.
Yes, yeah, and I think that was their main event because I didn't get to check it out before, but they had another match too that looked like it was going to be good. So I was just trying to check in for when I could back and forth, and it's
I didn't.
like,
I didn't. I recorded the. I recorded Collision, so I'll watch it later. But
well, I was
so.
more just kind of concerned just in case anything super memorable happened because they were
Apparently,
doing.
Tony Storm has gone back to. I don't know what Tony Storm's doing now because apparently she just thinks she's just
Yeah.
now recently got to AEW again. I don't know.
She's not timeless anymore. Now she's back to her old self. And it was Mark Briscoe taking on Kyle Fletcher. That's the one I wanted
There
to
you go.
see. So I just wanted to see if anything notable happened, but it looked
All
like
I
it was
saw,
just.
all I saw on Twitter was a clip of Tony Storm introducing herself to Thunder Rosa and Tony Schiavone for the first time. I'm like, huh? What are you? What?
Yeah, I don't know. So, but yeah, Damian Priest came out next. They had the triple threat followed by Finn Balor.
Oh,
Finn came out with
that was a
that
good.
hood
That was a
over
good.
his
Now
face.
that was a good match.
And then Gunther came out. All three of them got a great reaction from the crowd. Even booed or cheered. The crowd was so responsive all night. So they went ahead. They showed these three can tell a very compelling story. So Gunther, he's kind of lacking some of that confidence. He hasn't lost all of it like he started to, but he's regaining a bit of it after losing twice now. He lost, to Sammy, then to Cody. So it took him a little bit out of it. And part of the thing that drove him with Cody is that he wanted Cody to tap out or pass out to the choke. He said, this is what and he became so fixated on that he didn't try to win by other means, and that was short-sighted on his behalf. So now you can see that he takes advantage of every situation. If he's going to powerbomb you, if he's going to choke you, he's getting that edge about him again, which I like. So this was able to kind of re-hone his skills and make him that elite warrior again. I mean, he decimated Balor in the end with that sick powerbomb and just stuffed him to pin him.
I was kind of like, I was like, I said, Balor, yeah, you're done.
I just thought that it could have been so interesting to see him suffer a loss that he had no part of. If Gunther, like I said, if we saw
Mhm.
Priest get choked out and passes out, but right as Finn comes down with the coup de grace and it hits them both, Gunther gets pushed to the outside and Finn gets the
Right.
title and the win.
Yeah.
Now you have a title that's on Finn, and Damian Priest can still chase it, but Gunther,
Right.
he plays into, like, I don't know. I was hoping we got something of that nature for this show, because I
Yeah.
didn't want it to be just straight through, start to finish. Hey, everything we said you were going to get, that's it, no surprises. And with it being such a big deal to make this be a return to form and classic, this is the 39th edition of Saturday Night's Main Event, but the first time since what, 2008 or something like that. It's
Yeah.
been
2008. Yeah. I think that's what they said.
yeah, ages. So great television match, don't get me wrong, but Gunther retained. It was so
Yeah.
expected, and especially the way that he retained. So everybody
Yeah.
looked strong, even Finn getting scooped up at the end there. Everyone had their moment. So sadly, though,
I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what they're going to
yeah,
do.
who does Gunther face from here? Why do we care about Damian Priest and Finn going forward? If Finn won the title, then Damian could chase that, and that's why. But
Right.
now, like, what's
Yeah.
the point? They both
Well,
lost.
first of all,
Does he need more revenge?
First of all, if you want Finn to have the champion belt, you gotta get those tag title belts off of them. So
I'm thinking that happens tomorrow night.
yeah, well, yeah, Monday night.
I think Damian Priest is going to cost Finn Balor their tag team titles tomorrow night, and then these two are going to have some epic Hell in a Cell-esque match. It won't maybe be a Hell in a Cell, but something like that at
Right.
either Netflix or Chamber or the Rumble. So one of those, though.
Yeah.
I think that's how
Yeah,
it's going to build.
The
I
whole
think
thing,
that they're losing the titles
the whole
tomorrow.
thing is, but the thing is, well, yeah, they gotta lose those tag belts because those tag belts have, yeah, those they don't ever do anything with them. So it's like
Never
put them
get
on
anything
somebody
good
else.
anyways. Exactly. And
I mean, look what they did on SmackDown. I mean,
that's what I'm
DIY's
saying.
now a heel.
The Raw side of things needs work for the tag team, but that's why I've liked WWE lately, because there's something for everybody. If you really like tag team stuff, you can focus on SmackDown because they're giving you buckets load of tag team drama over there.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, you got DIY who
Just
turned heel, and I was
heel.
kind of like, what?
You have the Motor City Machine Guns there. Who would have thought you'd see them in the WWE ring? All these things, just crazy stuff.
They actually had to put Cody on Cody got stretchered out of the arena tonight. Jesus.
Wow, that's a bit crazy. I'm excited to see what they do with it and how it works.
I tell you one thing, I had a feel. I see when they went off the air, I was kind of like, well, they just went off there automatic. At 10 o'clock, it was gone. I was kind of like, because they kept hanging around. I was like, well, is something going to happen? I mean, Kevin Owens was still out there, and I was like, is something going to happen?
You were thinking something would, and that was kind of the hang up with the end. I mean, we'll get there, but
It's like
yeah,
after the match, I was like,
that was my feeling with the the world championship here, and
Mhm.
because my thought was, you get to Finn, you can always get to Seth from there, and then Seth will have the belt, and then you get Punk and Seth. That kind of made sense to me somewhere in my stupid booking mind. They're telling good stories, and I'm appreciating that. It's just that I was hoping for not just something incredibly enjoyable, which sounds selfish of me as a wrestling fan. We did get a very good show tonight. I'm not complaining.
Man.
I just wish we got more surprises.
Triple H got right up into Owens' face.
Oh yeah, they
goodness.
were pushing each other back and forth. And
Oh my goodness.
it got brutal, and you see
Man,
him,
there's
he is
people on
angry.
Twitter that are like, yeah, Owens should have won the belt. I was like, oh my gosh, people. Cody's not losing that title anytime soon. Y'all might as well get over it.
We got fan video right now, so let me see fan
Well,
video.
I'm watching. I'm looking on Twitter now. Owens gets out there and he's holding the belt up, and then all of a sudden here comes Triple H behind him, and tries to knock it out of his hand. Yeah, there you go.
Just started over. Look, takes the belt out of his hand and knocks it away.
Yeah, then he gets right up in his face and pushes him around.
And hit him with a pile driver. So now we got Cody out for a little while. What happens with this story? When does Randy come back? What do they do to punish Owens? I mean, just so many different things.
Yeah,
here.
the whole thing is Randy's got to come back here eventually. So he's been out for a while now. So it's time for him to come back. So he's going to come back. Cody's going to take a breather for a little bit. So
And I'm curious who Gunther faces next.
I am too. Actually, I'm actually curious to see who's going to step up because
I'm
I don't know who
honestly not
I don't
sure.
know who it could be unless it's somebody from SmackDown moving over to Raw.
I've had a
So
few ideas, but no one like solid at this point that really fits in a great way. So,
I mean,
and that's kind
of
of the
course, you
thing. They've
got
been focusing on the women more than the men. It feels like at
yeah.
times. But
I mean,
speaking of,
You got Strowman on SmackDown now, which I was kind of like, oh yeah, okay, cool, yeah,
yeah, they could
sure.
do something with it briefly, but it sucks
I
that
mean,
Bronson Reed got injured at the War Games
oh
match.
yeah,
And you know what
I
happened
think that put
too?
a I think they had something good, big going on for him, but
Yeah,
you
because
know,
his foot and ankle exploded. I mean, it was really most of his ankle, but he tried to land safely and did the best thing he could to protect Roman because Roman wasn't off the table yet. So he landed on his feet from the
yeah.
very top of the cage. So he did what Edge did. He landed like
Yeah,
pencil
I was going to
dive
say,
onto
I
his
was just
feet,
going to say,
and then he jumped
he
forward.
almost pulled an edge there.
Exactly, but he did that intentionally because Roman wasn't off the table yet. And if Punk pulled Roman any harder, the table could have turned this way, and then he would have
Yeah,
landed on the table sideways. So
yeah,
Bronson Reed jumps down to his feet, then uses that
yeah.
momentum to do the splash, just
Well, I
missing
tell you,
Roman
yeah, I
like
mean,
in
yeah,
seconds.
I was going to say he almost did an edge thing, and I was just like, when he got up on top of that cage, I was like going, oh, this is either going to end really good or really bad.
Exactly, it was one of the two and nothing in between. So,
And just like when Edge went up to the top of the cage, I said, Edge, what are you doing? You don't need to be going up there.
speaking of really good or really bad, we went ahead and switched off next to Meechin and Chelsea Green, and you're talking fan response of the night. Holy hell.
Yep.
It was absolutely insane, the ovation that Chelsea got at the end. But
I tell
this
you
was
one
a,
thing.
a damn
I
good
tell you
match.
one thing about Chelsea Green. I'm not a fan of Chelsea Green. Never. I'm not.
Really?
I just know it's just something about her. I just can't
Hmm.
get into her. But it's like Turner babyface for God's sakes.
I think that's going to happen naturally. I think Piper Niven and her are going to split soon, and she's going to go
Wait,
full babyface
I
because,
already saw that. I already saw that. As soon as she held her up on her
yeah,
shoulders, all she was looking at was that title belt.
because it's
And I was
funny.
wait, and I was sitting there going, "Where have I seen this before? Randy
They
Orton on top of somebody's shoulders.
they had some great moments because Chelsea at first she got out of the eat defeat attempt, like she stuffed it
Yep,
entirely, and then she just puts her down
yep.
with an unprettier, and she gets a quick 2 count. And then to have that
Hmm.
kind of be shades of what ended up ending the match, like
Oh yeah,
you saw, Meechin kicks Niven just to hell off the side of the apron, and then she goes back at Chelsea, who jumps off the top of the ropes because she was sitting on the corner into what was a sunset flip setup,
yeah,
which then
yeah,
set her up for her finisher, the unprettier, the
yeah.
inverted
That
drop.
I was sitting there going, I was like, "What the heck was
How
that?"
beautiful was that reversal? I loved the
Yeah,
finish.
that's totally. I was wasn't expecting. I was like going,
Sadly,
"Okay."
they had the issue as well with having a commercial break split up this match because it was only an 8-minute match, and then almost 4 minutes of commercials. So you had 2 minutes on both
Hmm.
sides of the actual match
Yeah,
to watch, and
yeah,
that was it. Now Nick Aldis comes out, and I get they were stuck to the 2-hour format. They had to be out exactly at 9:59 because of SNL starting and everything, but
yep,
I was hoping they could have added a little bit more, but the crowd
yeah.
didn't care about some of the rough moments. They didn't care when the match was a little wonky. They just continually cheered. They gave him "This is awesome" chants, and the
No, yeah.
ovation when she won was so loud. That was probably pop of the night for sure. So
I was kind of like going, "Do you people actually want like her? Really?"
yeah, Chelsea is
Oh,
over
I was
like
kind of like,
Rover. She's going to be a face
I'm just
because
kind
of
of
the
like,
reaction she's getting, Liz. You'll see.
I mean, she did a Rough Rider in the ring. I mean, come
Yeah.
on.
Oh, she's her husband's. I'm not happy that her husband was going against Jericho for Ring of Honor because I was hoping we were going to get him, especially working with TNA now and NXT and all that.
Yeah,
I was hoping we were going to have Ryder, back for
yeah.
one night, either in the
Well,
Rumble or and start a story with Chelsea. Like it could have
yeah.
been
Well,
could have been
Chelsea,
cool, but.
yeah, Chelsea. That's what I was like. Okay, if she's gonna get this kind of cheer,
Well,
give
Ring
her a
of
baby
Honor is not
face.
even on TV. That's what upsets me. Like it's just like
Yeah, it's like
WWE
they
showed
showed on
interest.
they showed
So
what was it? They showed the signing with no Cardona was on Rampage last night. Yeah, that was it. He wrestled on Rampage last night, and I was like, Oh, Cordona's on Rampage. Cool.
You know,
He
and
wrestled what's his name? The Bad Apple guy. So, you know.
oh, Carlito. No, I'm just kidding. So
Not that Bad Apple, the
he
other
wanted
Bad
to learn
Apple.
Japanese. No, no, no. I kid. I kid. I'm genuinely high about this win though. Chelsea deserves it. She's been, knockouts champion, and I'm
I
glad
was
that they
what I
announced
was
that as
waiting
well.
for. I was waiting for it. Piper had her on her shoulders. I was like, Piper's looking at that title. I was like, drop her, drop her.
You were just waiting for her to do the
I was waiting
and
for
just
that
take her down.
that heel that heel turn thing. I was like, Piper, just drop her, but just drop her. You got her on her shoulders, just throw her back. Because that's what they did with Randy Orton when he won a title, when he won his first title. So they dropped his butt. So
Exactly. You're waiting for the evolution.
I was waiting for the yeah, and she didn't do it this time. But
No, I'm
she kept
glad she
looking.
didn't. That would have been a bit overbooked because now she
Yeah,
just wins the title and she beats her. Now let it happen. Let it take its time because
it's
that's.
it's going to happen.
I was complaining about that with Mariah May because it was so out of nowhere for her to just turn on Toni Storm because she won the #1 contendership. Like now she's gonna beat her. Why? There was nothing. There was no sign. There was no
Yeah,
way to predict it. They just did the turn for shock's sake, and that shock factor.
that's because AEW doesn't know how to storybook any match. They don't know how to do storylines anymore over there. They just like
That's
dream
why
matches all of a sudden.
I was trying to go ahead and try not to compare too much, but it stays in my mind because the women's division over here is getting so much. I am weary
Hmm.
about, like I told Sith, I'm weary about them getting these mid card titles. I hope they're not just set pieces, like Dean
Right.
Ambrose when he had the U.S. title and it meant
Yep.
nothing.
Yep.
2013 again. I don't want to see these titles be forgotten about. Now, Nick Aldis
Right.
did say to Bianca and also to Red Herring Naomi that they could defend the tag
Yeah.
titles this upcoming week on SmackDown. So,
Yeah. I like how Naomi was just like, "Oh, I'll step in and I'll sub in." Yeah,
exactly. So they made her look
you're probably
pretty guilty, or at least rather
yeah,
sus.
you're
So,
you're probably the one that took out Jade. Hmm.
they're telling that anybody plays Among Us. I said sus there quick, but anybody that plays Among
Yeah,
Us,
she.
that's teaching you to be a killer.
I used to play Among Us, so I know how that game goes, and
Well,
I'm just kind of like going,
so did
"Yeah,
that
you're
CEO
sus."
shooter, Liz. So apparently, you might have something in common. No, I played it as well. I think everybody did. Danny and I used to play it on, like random with just people we would
I
find
mean,
online. It was
I used to
crazy.
play with a couple of friends, and of course, I had the mohawk. My little Among Us guy had a mohawk, so
Easy to pick out.
I was called the Mohawk. The Mohawk is always sus. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever, y'all.
Like I said, I was really happy Chelsea got the win. Nick Aldis gives her the title. She gets
Yep.
7 years to the day that she won her first championship. It's a
You
great
know,
moment for her.
I think that's they mentioned it was it was her 7 year her first match was in TNA 7 years ago
Yeah.
against Meechin. I was like, what?
Exactly.
Really?
I mean, to go ahead and have that kind of be the way things unfolded unintentionally, that's pretty
Talk about a
incredible.
full circle. Talk about full circle.
Yeah, exactly. So I was excited to hear Jesse Ventura on the headset yet again.
Oh Lord.
Michael Cole is a professional. He knows how to banter with him. But Pat did not know how to get a word in edgewise with Jesse because Jesse kept going on these rants and like he betrayed Cody by Cody betraying him. He's doing his whole deep rants and his conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Were you excited to
Yeah,
see
well,
Ventura
yeah.
back?
I think Pat was kind of awestruck with Jesse Ventura.
Exactly,
Anyway,
and he's a force not to be reckoned with. He'll just bowl over anybody like me.
I'll tell you one thing, Pat McAfee. I swear to God, that guy. Oh God.
Oh, he was great tonight. I was so happy
If you
to have him
if
in
you
there.
ever get a chance to watch College Game Day with him on there, oh my God, that show is so much better with him on it because he makes everything go crazy. I'm like,
That's
Pat,
for sure. And shout out to Casey
he
as
will
Raw in the
stand.
chat.
He will
What's going
stand
on,
on
bud?
his. He will stand. He stands on that chair in WWE. He stands on that chair on game day, and he does all the
He always
sings the fight songs.
he goes into it. No joke about it. Yeah.
He
Casey said
sings
he
all
hopes
the
that
college. He sings all the fight songs, and he just goes crazy. And I'm just kind of like,
he's
Pat,
always that hyped up. That's what makes him great.
Yeah, it's crazy. I love watching him on the College Game Day show because it's just I'm just kind of like, and every time he does something crazy, I'm like, Pat, don't kill yourself, please.
He's just enjoyable fun, that's for sure. Casey in
yeah.
the chat said, hopefully we get Joe Hendry in the Royal Rumble. He's the #1 contender after their final whatever
Yeah,
battle
it's kind of
show.
funny because I had a friend.
Final
that
Revolution.
that lives. I have a friend that lives in Atlanta, and they went to the TNA. They were going to the TNA tapings that are going on in Atlanta tonight. So,
Oh, there you go. Spaz couldn't be here tonight, but he sent me this bottle of it's like a protein drink. Kind of
yeah.
tastes like pineapple. It's a little thick, but he left a note in it. He said, "Enjoy the protein," and then he gave me a link, and he said, "Special ingredient." So I don't know what he meant, but let me play this really quick.
Oh God.
Come.
God damn you, Spaz. Any event, this next match we had Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, Lillian Garcia. She comes out. She does the introductions. They bring out the 8K camera. I love that.
8K camera, man. I love that.
introduction
I love that.
so much. It gives it the big fight feel. It makes it feel like, like it should be the main event. The Winged Eagle title belt sitting ringside. Love seeing that thing. Knowing that Cody wanted that back so bad.
Oh my God, it looks so good. It looks so good on him. I was like, can we just keep that title? Just let him keep it, bro.
Yeah, exactly. It's one night only, but everyone knew what it was going to be. But we wish it wasn't. Their match was very straightforward until the finish. I was very surprised because they got 2 ref bumps out of us here. The first time,
I was kind of like going, okay, we have 2 ref bumps. So like,
we see,
who's coming out now?
The way they did the sequence of events, it was so perfect because we got initially the setup for the stunner into the reversal for the crossroads, into the ref bump, into the stunner, and then the crowd counts to 1,000,000 for him. So Owens technically has a claim to the title there, 1. So we're getting a rematch probably on Netflix.
Exactly.
Then 2, you get the second ref comes out, and he gets the count. 2, Cody kicks out. Cody comes, he gets back up, and then he just crashes into that ref. And that's when Owens goes, grabs the chair. He goes, and Cody gets out of the way, and he's able to get that Cody cutter. And then all of a sudden, he grabs him, and he does the crossroads onto the chair.
The chair.
That's why I love WWE at this point, because the faces actually are faces, but they're not wuss bags. They're not going to go out there like mindless idiots, 5-on-1. I'm going to get killed. But everybody stay backstage and no one help me.
The way I see that is Owens brought the chair in the ring. It's there. Might as well use it.
You introduced it. I'm going to use it.
Exactly. I mean, he's the one that tried to use it and didn't do it. And then Cody was like, "Well, it's there. Might as well use it."
And I love that Jesse kept pointing out over and over that Cody used the chair. Kevin Owens didn't even use it. He wouldn't acknowledge that he brought it in.
I hate to tell Jesse Ventura, but Owens is the one that brought the chair in the ring. So I mean,
Exactly. It was a really good main event, but I kept waiting. Like you saw people watching the main entranceway, waiting for something to happen, and then it just went off the air. They thanked everybody, and it was really good. It was enjoyable. I would give this an 8 out of 10. Like it was a concise 2 hour.
That sounds about what I give it.
The only thing that was disappointing were the commercials. There was a lot of commercials, and the matches were all about 10 minutes long. So every time you had a commercial break,
for the main event, I was looking at the clock and I was like going, it's 9:30. They're not going to have a 30-minute match. There's no way. And so it's like,
I was hoping initially. I was like, they gave him a half an hour.
I was like, okay, I can get a 30-minute match.
And then they put on the Cody Kevin Owens video package. And I'm like, and then they ended up having him come out. So Owens comes out first, and then they go to commercial there. Then they have them fight, and then they go to commercial again. So your main event was, I think, altogether 12 minutes exactly, bell to bell.
Yeah, because
they had
during the commercial break, they had that picture-in-picture thing on my TV, so I could actually watch what was going on along with I could care less about what the commercial was.
Well, we had it a couple of times. We had it when you saw Kevin, he goes into the camera and yelled, "Hi, Randy." That was the picture-in-picture we had.
I saw that. I was like going, oh, Kevin. Oh, you shouldn't have said that. Oh, boy.
But the commercials were just really, unfortunately, jarring because unlike Raw, where it used to be you got a commercial break, but nothing really happened. Like, they just did rest holds. for the
Right.
audience, and then you're at a commercial, and now they were continually fighting in the commercial break
Right.
because
Yeah.
the audience is full regardless, but they knew they only had so much time. They had to keep the story going, and the fans invested, so they didn't
Yeah,
stop.
that
They
makes
weren't
sense. I
they
mean,
weren't they weren't holding.
I was just like, I was like going, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
how many
so
commercials am I going to have to watch? I don't care about what the weather's going to be like for
shorter
tomorrow here.
matches,
Okay.
longer intrusive commercials, not a good combination. No
I could care less
surprises,
about the
Liz.
weather.
Yeah, that's but no surprises. I was expecting something big. The Rock to finally make a stake in his claim. Like, who's he going to challenge? What is he going to do? You got to see him at
The
Bad
Rock.
Blood in person.
You know when the Rock's going to come, right? He's going to come at Netflix when everybody else comes at Netflix.
Yeah,
Apparently,
either Netflix or the Rumble. I imagine he'll be at Netflix beforehand, and
he's got to be at Netflix. He's got to be at the Netflix. He's got to be at the Raw. Is
it's
Netflix? He's
just
already said
crazy
he's going to be
that
the Raw.
Kevin Owens hits Cody and makes him be taken out on a stretcher, but they do that with as an after thing. I wish that happened on the actual show.
That should have happened.
We
on
needed
the
some
show,
type
but
of edge for Owens again because we saw him get the actual pinfall, the 3 count. He should have been able to win there, but the ref was down. So that's all he had to do is say, "Hey, that's my I had my chance robbed from me. The referee was down."
well, the whole thing is Owens had his chance. Cody hit the ref and knocked the ref out. I'm like, and then Owens is like, why is there no ref? I'm like, you dodo, the ref's out of the ring now.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the problem. But
He's looking around like, where's the ref? I'm like,
he lost sight of them really quick. Yeah, like you said, though, I was hoping we got something iconic besides the winged eagle belt. I really wanted to see something special.
I was waiting. I was hoping we would see Randy Orton show back up because I figured, well, he's been gone for a little bit now, so it's about time for him to come back. And I was thinking to myself, maybe he's coming back tonight.
The only thing that I didn't get right as far as predictions goes, I got all the match outcomes right, but I was just totally shocked that we did not see Charlotte. I really thought she was going to come out.
I thought she was going to come out. I figured I was waiting for her to come out after
or cost somebody
Chelsea
a match.
after Chelsea won that belt. I was waiting for her to come out.
Especially with everyone reporting that, return is imminent, this is happening, and then we saw nothing from it for so long. Yeah. So, any other comments or things you want to touch on from tonight's show?
What they're going to build, all they're doing is building up for that Raw's Netflix show, and I think that show is going so loaded. I don't know how they're going to do it all.
That show is going to be insane. It's going to be a 3-hour show guaranteed. Maybe
yeah, it's only 3 hours.
Yeah, it's absolutely going to be, and I think they're going back.
But I don't know.
Hours,
I just hope they don't overload it with too much.
It's definitely going to be loaded. What's going on, Mr. Kincaid? He's in the chat. He said, how's everybody doing? Hope you and Lady are good. We're doing very well, and Liz and I have been hanging out for the night. She's joined me in place of Spaz, but yeah, is there anything else you want to touch on?
I'm the new co-host. Y'all didn't know that?
No, you've been co-host with me forever. You just we had to reconnect.
You just don't see me. You just can't see me.
I am excited for John Cena's last year. I will tell you that much. I am.
Oh my God, man!
We get from that.
I will say this: when he came out, was that Money in the Bank when he announced he was retiring?
Yeah.
He came out, and I was kind of like going, "Why is Cena coming out here? What is he doing here?"
Yeah, because
all of a sudden he comes out
in Canada,
and he was like, "I'm announcing my retirement." I was like, "Huh?" I was like, "What?"
And he's going to be at the Elimination Chamber, so I'm really curious what Cena gets into, and Spaz will get to see him again. And hopefully, you and I get out there as well because I don't know.
The whole thing is, and the only way I'll get to go see John Cena is if they do an event anywhere close to where I live, and unless they're going to do another pay-per-view in Atlanta, or something, who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
Or Nashville.
The only news I'm seeing right now, besides the results, is that Cody Rhodes attacked by Kevin Owens, steals title, injures him with pile driver.
Yeah,
nothing else from anybody. So
of course, when I went to Bad Blood, it was Bad Blood in the the Hell in a Cell match. Oh.
I mean, CM Punk here was posing with a bunch of legends. Yeah, that was great to see.
Oh, speaking of all the legends, I mean, we saw who was it?
We saw Greg the Hammer Valentine, Coco Beware,
Greg the Hammer Valentine,
Santana, Jimmy Hart,
Coco.
Yep, Coco Beware, Tito Santana, Jimmy Hart.
Yo, Jimmy Hart, I swear to God, that guy does not age.
He doesn't. He looks the same. His hair, it must be glued
I
on
was
at this
I was
point.
looking at when they showed him. I was like, do you not age?
There's a few of them that don't. I'm telling you, as wrestlers, you look at them and you're like, how? Trish Stratus
I
is
mean,
another one,
you
like I
know,
said
Trish
before.
Stratus. Trish
Yeah.
Stratus. I mean,
She put out that tweet tonight, and then she was also putting out a tweet congratulating Chelsea Green, and she just looks fantastic.
I'm just kind of like going, how do you say? What is your secret? Can I get it?
Exactly. You know, it's like, tell me about it. You know,
It's crazy. It's crazy to think that 2024 is almost over.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, here she is here, and it's just nuts.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, I'm just kind of like,
We're moving
how do
everything here.
you do that?
You know, she goes ahead and so good she wrecks my ex.
I can't believe that.
There
I
we
can't
go.
believe 2024 is almost over. And wrestling's been so crazy this year.
She's totally nuts, and like you said, look at her.
Yeah,
Her
look at
posting
that.
this stuff is ridiculous, and you know.
I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy to think that 2024 WWE has been crazy. This whole year has been nuts.
I agree. The whole year has been really
It's like
unprecedented, and I loved
if
everything.
you'd have told me we'd see CM Punk, Jey Uso winning a singles title.
I know. And now people know the difference between the brothers, and I like that Jimmy
Exactly.
was like, you yeet me. That's
We
the
know
wrong
how
brother.
to yeet.
Exactly. So, well,
As my
Liz,
chat does every time I beat a boss on a stream.
yeet.
There's one guy in my chat who's a wrestling fan. Every time I beat somebody, he'll
do
type in yeet.
Exactly. You got to throw it in there. Liz, is there anything else you want to add for tonight's show for Saturday night's main event?
Nah. I mean, no, not really. I mean, it's just, it's kind of
Just very by the numbers, which in a good way though. It was still entertaining.
We could talk about my trip to Bad Blood, but that was 2 months ago. But
I know we get to show some of your footage there, but
I bought this at Bad Blood.
Exactly, best purchase yet. That and the weight belt.
Well, the best purchase was my weight belt, which I don't have hanging up yet. So, but
I can't wait to see how that thing looks hanging up with all your.
Well, that's gonna hang up once I figure out how to hang it up. But that's another story in itself.
Yeah, you'll see that.
But Bad Blood was crazy.
You had a great time. You had so many great moments in the bloodline.
Oh my goodness!
Tag match.
I got to see Drew McIntyre get hit with a toolbox. That was fun.
Exactly, busted open by Punk and all the stitches and staples he needed.
Oh my goodness, man! That guy was. Oh boy, he was. Yeah, seeing that up close, seeing that match live was nuts. I was kind of like,
absolutely.
Oh my goodness!
And you know what?
The crowd was nuts. The crowd was crazy for that match.
The crowd has been great all year long. And Bad Blood, they were incredible. So
all those international shows have all been great. And
exactly.
I'm just kind of like,
every single one has topped each other. And the thing is, like tonight, I say it's paint by numbers, but that's not a bad thing because we used to get pay-per-views that were predictable, but they were so dreadfully boring. The same rematches with nothing good to go through it. So
I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy to think how many countries they went to for this year to do shows. It's like I'm just thinking,
it is absolutely crazy. You think about it.
Insane. And of course, next year they're doing a whole month of Europe, so it's
60
like
plus weeks of selling out. It's just been one positive after another.
The Netflix people are saying that they're going to show all those European shows in the afternoon. I was like, great! I can watch Raw on Monday afternoon. Cool.
Yeah, exactly. It's like cool. There we go ahead, but that's okay. I'm happy with that. I like that when they're going overseas. Play it when it's live.
I'd rather watch it live. And then trying to avoid spoilers all over the internet because people like to spoil. And it drives me insane.
What fun is it? Exactly. So, I mean, at least if it's
why
my
would I want
to
watch it if
later.
I know what's going to happen? It's like SmackDown last night. They taped the next SmackDown last night, and I tried to stay off of Twitter because I was like, I don't want to see anything. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
So,
no. I don't blame you. Well,
it's just like video games when you're playing a video game.
Yeah.
There's a game coming out that you're gonna stream or play.
And you don't want people
to
ruin
people
it for
that
you.
want to spoil it.
Exactly. You see people with the ultimate spoilers all the time. We used to deal with that on the chat. The Star Wars movies.
I get to deal with that. I have to deal with that. I've dealt with that
It's always
Many
a
times on my
problem, but
many
hey,
times on my streams, it's like that's why I have mods in my stream that'll be like, "Sorry, you're not. That message is getting deleted."
yeah, exactly. Well, Liz, I know they can find you at twitch.tv/DJAnime2016. Your stuff is in the description box down below.
Yep.
Hopefully, everybody goes ahead and hits the like button and subscribes. Check out the latest, this week in wrestling that we have over on the Spaz Phoenix channel. So, Spaz Phoenix Podcast, again, that will be in the description box down below.
Yeah, babe. Yep,
And,
yep.
We hope to see
Shoot
you
me
all
a follow.
soon.
Shoot me a follow on the Twitch, y'all. If y'all
Absolutely.
if y'all are into the role playing games and stuff. That's usually what I play. So
Absolutely. Well, again,
if you like if you're into the Final Fantasies and the games like that.
yeah, role playing and fantasy and all those things. So
Oh yeah, all that crazy stuff. Yeah. We try to have a good time over there. So
absolutely. Well, we'll try to see everyone before Christmas time. But again, Liz, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. I appreciate it greatly.
man.
I'll talk to you on Facebook soon. And for everybody out there, I appreciate you greatly. I hope if I don't see you before Christmas, you have a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and a safe holiday. Everybody take care and stay sexy.